different times of the day.
Hello, good morning students. How are you? Welcome to the class. Today's class we discuss about different times of the day, as you can see on the board. Different times of the day and how we can say the parts of the day in English. How can we say parts of the day in English? So let's start the class. Okay. So in English, as we know that we say different names for different times of the day. So first of all, let's see what is dawn. Have you heard about the word dawn? Dawn it is around sunrise. What is dawn? Dawn is the time it is around sunrise. Okay, it comes around sunrise. Let's have one example. My mom usually wakes up dawn. My mom usually wakes up dawn. So what's the meaning of the word dawn? Dawn is, when you say dawn, it is around sunrise. Dawn is a time, it is around sunrise. Let's see this, in this example. My mom usually wakes up dawn. My mom usually wakes up dawn. That means my mom usually wakes up around sunrise. Around sunrise, just before sunrise. That is around sunrise. Hope you understood. Dawn. Next, let's see early morning. Have you heard about early morning? What is the meaning, or what do you mean by saying early morning? Early morning, it is from about 2 hours before sunrise, about 7 a.m. So what is early morning? Early morning is about 2 hours before sunrise to about 7 a.m. So when you say the word early morning, what you mean by that is it's early morning before 7 a.m. The time will be about 7 a.m. So that's about early morning. Let's see one example. In the early morning, she rose and went out. In the early morning, it's around 7 a.m., she rose and went out. That is early morning. Hope you understood early morning. Okay. Now let's see what is morning. We all say morning, good morning every day. Morning. What do you mean by when you say morning? It is around, it is from sun set, sunrise to 12 p.m. This is in general. What is morning? It is around sunrise. Sunrise to 12 p.m. That's what we morning. That's the time extension. So it is from sunrise, morning sunrise 7 o'clock to 12 p.m. You usually say this is morning. That's the long period, long time it extends. Okay, all those time we call it morning. And let's take one example. Good morning. That was very beautiful morning. That was very beautiful morning. It is that time period between 7 to 12 a.m. 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. Hope you understood that. Let's see the example. That was a very beautiful morning. Okay, that's it. Now let's see what is like late morning. So we already know what is early morning. Early morning is 2 hours before sunrise to about 7 a.m. Then what is late morning? Late morning, it is from about 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So morning in general, it is 7 o'clock to 12 a.m. But early morning, it is 2 hours before sunrise. So what is late morning? Late morning, it is from about 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That is called late morning. So do you understand the difference between early morning and late morning? I hope you understood that. So what is morning? It is from sunrise to 12 p.m. That was a very beautiful morning. That example. Late morning is 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Example. Let's see one example. The fog had lifted by late morning. Fog. The fog has lifted. Fog changed. The fog had lifted by late morning. What is late morning? Between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's it. Okay. Now let's see what is the noon or midday. So what do you mean by saying noon or midday? So noon or midday, it is 12 p.m. exactly 12 p.m. We usually use midday or noon. What do you mean by that? Is like exactly like 12 p.m. That is noon. Okay, noon. For example, we usually have a simple meal at midday. We usually have a simple meal at midday. A simple or heavy meal at midday. Okay. So again, parts of the day in English. Dawn. Dawn is around sunrise. Example, my mom usually wakes up dawn, early morning. It is from about 2 hours before sunrise to about 7 a.m. In the early morning, she woke and went out. Example, what is morning? Morning, it is from sunrise to 12 p.m. Okay, early morning, you understand. Morning, okay, 7 to, yes, 12 p.m. What is late morning? Late morning, it is from about 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And noon or midday, it is 12 p.m. noon. That's called noon or midday. Hope you understood that. That's different times of the day. Okay.
Different times of the day. Parts of the day. Charts. How to tell time and parts of the day in English. Dawn. It is around sunrise. Examples. My mom usually wakes up at dawn. The mine workers left work at break of dawn. The dawn is breaking. The weather generally gets cold toward dawn. They should come before the dawn. The darkest hour is that before the dawn. Early morning. It is from about 2 hours before sunrise to about 7 a.m. Examples. In the early morning, she rose and went out. Birds sing loudest in the early morning. At early morning, I went up through the hillside woods. The early morning is the best time of the day. He loved the cool of the early morning. Morning. It is from the sunset to 12 p.m. Examples. That was a very beautiful morning. I go to work in the mornings. Do you have any appointments for this morning? I will call you on Saturday morning. She couldn't get to sleep until the morning. Late morning. It is from about 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Examples: the fog had lifted by late morning. By late morning, the sky had cleared a little. They stayed at Cawdor from Friday lunchtime to Saturday late morning. The early clue had come in the late morning. The late morning sun was beginning to break through the clouds. Noon or midday. It is 12 p.m. Noon often expresses exactly at 12 p.m., while midday could be around 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Examples: we usually have a simple meal at midday. The explosion occurred just after midday. She will call you again at noon. We used to ski before noon, then take a long lunch. The rocket is due to lift off at noon on Friday.